Hi everyone, welcome back to the virtual Benedetti sessions. I can't believe it's the last week. I hope you've had a great first 2 weeks and I can't wait for our last week of music making together. I hope you enjoyed making your recordings and that you managed to get them submitted. I can't wait to hear them and to hear the finished product. Today I would like to focus on putting the final touches on our pieces and really polishing them off so that we're ready for the final weekend. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again for our Zoom sectional on Wednesday. I'm going to look at all 3 pieces today and we're just going to look at the best way to really finish them off and make it feel like we have completed them and that we're really ready to perform them. Let's take a look at the main theme of the Vaughan Williams. We're going to use this melody today, this tune, to help us think about sound production more generally and how we're using our bow to make dynamics happen and also how to really make the most of our instruments and help them to really ring. So let's play through the tune together now. I'll give you 2 beats in. Remember that we can play this in second position. That can really help and you don't have to shift. So here we go after 2. 1, 2. Hopefully you were using a similar kind of bow to me, so I was using a nice floaty, airy bow, and when we want to make that kind of transparent and silvery sound that we're looking for here in this piece, we need to take the 3 factors about bowing that help us to change our sound, and those 3 factors are speed of bow, and they are weight of arm, and then also point of contact. So point of contact means how close are you to the bridge versus the fingerboard. So for this particular tune, and for every tune is going to be a slightly different combination of those 3 things, and what I'd love for you to do is always to be thinking about experimenting with those 3 things and how much of each one you want to use to make the kind of sound you're looking for, and really listen to yourself when you're changing something so that you can decide, oh, actually I think I need a bit more weight of arm there, or I need a point of contact that's a bit closer to the bridge. And the only way that you're going to be able to answer those questions is by really listening to yourself. So really make sure that your ears are switched on the whole time. So at the beginning of this tune, we're starting at the tip. We're definitely going to be near the fingerboard, and then as we carry on, I'm not adding extra weight, but I am speeding up the bow, and I'm going a little closer to the bridge. And then here again for this swell, I'm really speeding the bow. So make sure that you remember to come away from the hairpins as well. And then we're going to speed here. Speed up. And again. And then. Be careful not to rush that bar. A little breath here before the rest of the phrase. Now we're speeding up. And don't forget there's a long diminuendo here. And then we're pianissimo. Hardly any bow at all. To the end of the tune. So hopefully then, once you get used to that feeling of the bow speeding up and slowing down to make these swells, you can start to think of this melody as one long phrase that goes all the way to C. Let's take a look at the Paganini now. I'm going to go through each variation and I'm going to pick out something specific that I hope you'll be able to apply to other pieces as well. Some sort of technical things that hopefully you can take with you into your other repertoire. So let's start off with variation 1. And I'm going to go right away to the first note, which has an accent on it. So accents are something that it's incredibly important that you feel comfortable with doing. So when we're doing an accent, we need to really feel that we're gripping the string and we can kind of wiggle it. So see if you can find a nice heavy arm with your bow on the string and see if you can give the string a bit of a wiggle. You can try each string, each one is a bit different, and see how far you can push the string with wiggling like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sort of imagine there's a little button underneath our first finger. And we're just going to make a slightly horrible sound, really gripping and releasing the string. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grip and release and lift a little bit. And make a more ringing kind of sound. It's this feeling of really, of taking this string with you as you go, that is going to help you to make these accents happen. Let's play variation 1 together, and we're going to try playing an accent on the first one of each of these 4 notes. Here we go, and 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So hopefully you can practice making those accents happen and take that into your own repertoire. Let's have a look now at variation 2. So variation 2 has got quite a number of dynamics here. And one tip that I would give you if you have a section that has lots of dynamics in is to take a highlighter or different coloured pencils and to really highlight the different dynamics. So maybe every time you have forte it's going to be yellow or whatever colour it is for you, and highlight it, and that can sometimes just help our brains to process that. And if you have a section with lots of dynamics, it's a really good idea to look at what the range is. So in this variation we have a range from piano to forte, and we have mezzo forte and mezzo piano in between. So we're going to want to try to grade the dynamics appropriately between that. So our forte needs to be stronger than our mezzo forte and stronger than our mezzo piano, and then piano, the quietest option. So make sure that you are aware of what range you're working within. Let's have a look at variation 3 now. So variation 3 has got a lot of pizzicato in it. We've talked quite a lot about how to do pizzicato, so we're going to be using the fleshy skin part of our finger, and we're going to be plucking over the fingerboard. And you can either do it just by holding your bow in a fist and pointing and plucking like that, or you can use your thumb and put that on the end of the fingerboard. That can really help with plucking. Let's do something where we practice going from bow holds to pitzing. So hold your bow in a normal bow hold. Just check that you've got a nice bent thumb and bent pinky finger, and hold it up like this, and let's go from arco to pitz. And then let's go back to arco again, and then to pitz. And then let's try that near our string. So arco and pitz. Arco and pitz. Okay, and then we can try adding in some open strings. So we can go from D and then pluck G. Let's try that together. So D, pluck G, D, pluck G. And try that as many times as you need to feel comfortable. And then we can add in the last bar of variation 3, the fingers, which are an E and an A. You can either put your bow into a fist entirely, or you can keep your bow hold and just pluck like that. something that can really help you with this, with feeling balanced when your finger is off, is if you practice doing some open strings. So if you practice a G and then do some tapping with your finger and then come back in and do some waving. And do some tapping with your pinky and then back in and do some waving. That can really help with feeling that both of those are nice and flexible and relaxed. Let's have a look now at variation 4. Variation 4 starts off with a glissando. And we've talked before about the need to have our elbows swinging underneath. So let's just play those first 3 bars now together. So it's all on G, and you can do as many bows as you need. We're going to slide all the way up. And all the way back again. Let's do that again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Okay, glissando is something that it's really important that you become familiar with and comfortable with, especially if you are learning vibrato. Vibrato is something that I would recommend that you don't start unless you are starting it with your teacher. But let's just have a little look now about how glissando relates to vibrato. So when we are learning to vibrate on the string, and when we're getting more used to it, the finger needs to be really relaxed and really firm at the same time. So we need to find exactly the right balance between just enough weight of the finger to hold the string down, but not too much that we're clamping down and it's becoming too difficult. And quite a nice way to do that can be to start with your second finger and to just do some polishing of the string. So you can imagine that you've got a tissue or a cloth, and you're just going to polish up and down the strings like that. In fact, you might want to set your bow down for this initially. So you can hold your viola and keep it nice and steady and just do some polishing. And then as you do that, you can gradually make the polishing smaller until the finger sticks there and just rocks around there. So you can try that again, from big to small and even smaller, and just rock there. And this can be a nice exercise to do when you are getting used to doing vibrato. If it's starting to feel a bit tight, you can just do a little bit of polishing. It's really important that when you're doing some moving up the fingerboard like this, that you really bring your thumb with you and you don't leave your thumb behind and try and just do it with your hand. Make sure that your thumb is coming along too, and then you can rest and stop there. And then once you get used to that, you can start trying to do that with your bow. It does make quite a crazy sound, so it sounds like this. Until you eventually come to a place where you want to stop. And I would recommend that place would be somewhere around 3rd position initially while you're getting used to it. Let's take one final look now at Matchins. We have done quite a lot of work with this piece under speed. Let's have a go now at playing it up to the full speed, and we're going to also add in the dynamics, and we're going to play from the beginning up until A. So I'd like you to think about 2 things while we're doing this playthrough. First of all, I'd like you to think about the dynamics. So we're going to start mezzo forte, but quite strong, and then we're going to do a really sudden piano and go really quiet in the 3rd line. So we're going to need to use a tiny amount of bow for that. Now I know that we don't have the tune here, and so often as viola players, unfortunately, we don't always get to have the tune, but it's our job in the orchestra to give as much energy as we possibly can and to phrase as much as we possibly can to help support the tune. And it's these inner parts that are going to really drive the character of the piece. So let's go for lots and lots of energy when we play this up to speed. So get ready at the heel of the bow and let's play it together. It's going to be quite quick. 1, 2, here we go. Well done. I hope you remembered the crescendo at the end. So I'd love you to play all the way through like that, adding in as much energy and as much contrast with the dynamics as you can. Well done everybody. Thank you so much for all your hard work so far. Keep practicing this week so that you're ready for the final concert. This is the last big push that we've got this week, and this is when we're going to be starting to add in all of those final details that are going to really make the music come to life. So make sure when you're practicing that you're really organized and you're really thorough and that you don't miss anything out, so that we can really make the piece as polished as we possibly can. Make sure that you're putting into practice all of the things that we've talked about with practice, and also all of the things that Nikki has been talking to you about as well. Quite often at this point it can be easy to get from level 1 to level 2 with your piece, and then when you've climbed all the way up to level 9, say, it can be really quite difficult to get from level 9 to level 10. So don't give up, keep trying, keep putting into practice all of those things that we've talked about, and you will find really, really good improvements to your piece. I hope you've learned a lot from the process of recording yourself and that you've enjoyed it. I know I'm really looking forward to hearing those, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again for our sectional on Wednesday. Have a great week.